As West Africans in the diaspora, I believe that we have a dilemma on our hands. We have a lot of pride for our countries back home, but when it comes to actually lending our support, it seems to be lacking. There's a lot of issues that are going on in our home countries, and we are voiceful online, but what tangible thing are we actually doing to help our home countries? In this video, I'm going to talk about the dilemma that I've noticed over the years and why I do my best to not be a part of that dilemma. This is Tony A with YORUBADE, a channel focused on topics related to the West African community, specifically pertaining to business and personal development. If you want to join the tribe, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, remember to click the bell so that you get alerted when new videos drop. So this was a video that was on my heart, and I've thought about it a lot, especially when I go and I do my research and I'm online and I'm engaging with other folks. And a consistent thing that I always see is how when issues are happening in our home countries, we are very voiceful online, on social media, IG, YouTube, and now I'm getting more acclimated with the Clubhouse app, and it's just a lot of complaining. And we complain about what the politicians are doing, the state of affairs in a lot of these West African communities. We talk about what other foreigners are doing when they do come in and exploit the people there. So whether it be Chinese, Lebanese, Europeans to a lesser extent, really the French and their whole situation with their Francophone countries. And we show our dismay for just what's going on, but I don't really hear us talk about the solutions. Therefore, when it comes to these problems that show up, we're just doing a lot of complaining and we're not much help. So I think this creates a culture in us in the diaspora where we kind of wag our fingers down to not just the politicians but also the people there, because the people are voting for these candidates, and we don't really think about, well, they're in an environment that's not conducive to them progressing as they should. Maybe there's something that we should be doing on our end that can facilitate change quicker. Now, I know we all have lives here. We got things going on, and you know, I think it's unreasonable to say all of us need to move back to our respective countries and help and lend a helping hand. I don't think that's really plausible, but at the same time, I do believe that we can do more. So just recently there was a G7 summit, and I'm still learning more about what the G7 is, but essentially it's the top Western countries that come together and they have a meeting on, I guess, what moves are going in the world. Some people say that it can be like world domination, one world country or one world system is what they do, but it's only the top Western countries. I think a Japanese is in it, but there's no African country, no brown leaders that go to this summit. And so they have this summit every year, and they talk about just issues that are going on, and that's what they talk about. So recently they was talking about how they can compete with China and their rail to road initiative. So you know how China is just building up everything. It's an initiative that they have. So now these Western countries want to figure out how can we compete in Africa. So notice everyone is trying to get into Africa. Well, they have these meetings, and now that's what they're trying to figure out. I believe that we should take what these other groups of people are doing and doing it for ourselves. So whether it be we can have our own sort of G Summit event go on, or think tank groups where we come together and we actually strategize how can we offer support to our home countries, what can we be doing so that we start to see some progression. Yeah, we got the corruption in these countries. We got the politicians that do what they do. They're always going to do what they do because they don't know anything else. We should be able to strategize and come up with a plan where we can do some type of liaison or some type of deal with these politicians and say, hey, look, you want this, we want this. Let's strike a deal. It might not go like that, but I think I believe it's more, it will lead to more progress than just us dispersely complaining about what's going on in our African countries. We've been doing it for decades. It doesn't get us anywhere. We're not showing any progress like that. And quite frankly, I'm just tired of seeing people, grown people that are proud of their countries, complain all the time. It's old, it's tired, and it inhibits, or it just expresses a sort of defeatist mindset of always just saying, okay, they're always doing this to us. Something this is happening. Oh, like it's always the victim. And I really do. I hate that victim mentality where it's always negativity that's happening to you, and you're helpless and you can't do anything. You just have to sit there and you're relying on other groups of people to come in and save you. They won't. They don't care. They have their hand in the situation that's going on in Africa. Now it's up to us in the diaspora to facilitate the change. We got to work with the people on the ground, but we got to be that shining beacon that says, okay, you know what? We got to do something different. Let's go at it this way. We're going to do some strategic moves, and we're going to keep it going. What really sparked this conversation was Nestle, the chocolate manufacturer. They just won a court case saying that they won't be responsible for all the child slave labor that they had on the cocoa farming. And the reason being was that it didn't happen in American soil, so they can't be sued for it. So then the backlash, of course, online was like, this is messed up, this is that. What I said in my comments, I don't remember the person that posted it, but what I said was, look, you can keep on complaining and talking about how they disrespected you and they don't care about you, they don't treat you like humans. You can keep on saying that, but you will get nowhere. You will get the same thing you're getting now, which is nothing, disrespect. They write you off like you're nobody. Instead, how about you actually make a power move and say, okay, you know what? We can't have this no more. We're gonna come together and form our own cocoa farming, processing factory, or whatever operation, so that this doesn't happen again. That's a power move. It also reminds me of when I remember China, just looking at the history of China. This is back in the 1920s. They were the laughingstock of the world. They weren't respected. No one cared about China. China was dirt poor, just not doing well. Then you had leaders that came in and was like, you know what? We're not going to complain about it. We got to turn this thing around. We got to turn this ship around so that we can be successful. So they bust their butt, and you see where they are now. They're a powerhouse. No one can mess with China like that. They know how to defend themselves, and it's because they took on. They saw what they did wrong. They saw that they was at the bottom. They didn't like it. They didn't like being mistreated or disrespected. And they're just like, you know what? We're going to make sure that we run this world. Did their 50 or their 100-year plan. They're in year 50 of their 100-year plan, I believe. And they're kicking ass. Now, imagine if we do something like that. The difference is we actually have resources. China don't have resources like that. We do. And we got the intellect. So if we start facilitating an environment where we start playing power moves, like, no, we need to really build our own infrastructure, then we could get stuff popping, we could get stuff done, rather than just complaining when someone abuses us. That's how I feel. This is the dilemma I see with us in, us West Africans in the diaspora. We do a lot of complaining, but we're not coming up with viable solutions. We write it off as, oh, it might be helpless, whatever. If that's how you feel, then I feel sorry for you, because you're already defeated and you're not no help to your people. The best thing you can do, I guess, is send money back home and leave it at that. I want to talk to I'm trying to reach the other people, the other West Africans that are just like, nah, I'm not going to be defeated. We are champions. We say we're proud. We have a rich history. Let's turn it around. Our ancestors did what they did. We gotta take the baton and go farther with it. So we're gonna do something different. And this is what I am gonna do. Those are the people that I like to engage with and I want to talk with. And anyone else that's also getting ideas that didn't really think about it in this way and want to do some type of change and want to bring about a legacy that is something to really be proud of instead of relishing in the past like a lot of us do. I see it on social media, looking at the old photographs. That's nice, but that's in the past. Need to be thinking about the future in order for us to get ahead. Those are my thoughts. And I think if we start to get on board with this type of thinking, then amazing things are going to come.